Chapter 5 Memories of That Day. Misao, you need to get up. I could hear a gentle voice. It almost sounded like something from a soothing lullaby. I balled myself up under the sheets. You never were a morning person, huh? I could hear the voice chuckling. I could feel someone else's warmth. I could smell something sweet. This was definitely not my room, huh? Good morning, Misao. I opened my eyes up in surprise and Hayato was right there in front of me. I was so shocked that I couldn't speak. Why are you so surprised? You'd been so close to me last night, too. No, I was... Yes, you were. Eh. He forcefully pulled me over and our bodies pressed up against each other. Force is never a good thing. I just woken up and my heart was already racing. It feels so nice holding you while I'm asleep. Hayato, don't say such strange things. It's not strange, it's the truth. I could feel a thin sheet and his burly body. It was completely different from his delicate body from the past. I wish we could stay like this forever. Oh, I have to go home now. Yeah, you're right. He held me tightly after saying those words. My back bent and my chest hurt. I didn't want to leave him. I don't want to go home. I wish I hadn't gone to sleep just a bit longer. I would say I wish I hadn't gone to sleep. I wish I hadn't gone to sleep. If it meant that we had to part so quickly. I was happy too, but I felt so relieved having you sleep next to me in my arms. We continued, it was not the right decision. We continued hugging each other for a bit longer. I started getting ready to go home, though I dreaded leaving him. The people in Yoshiwara during the morning time were all silent. I would sometimes see courtesans saying their goodbyes to customers. It was so silent now that Yoshiwara from last night seemed like a completely different place. Are you cold? No, I'm fine. He held hands like kids as he walked. We held hands like kids as he walked me home. I was standing next to such a thoughtful, irreplaceable person next to me. Our imminent parting was near, but I wasn't looking forward to it. Hey, Miso, will you come back to Yoshiwara? Huh? I stopped abruptly after hearing his sudden question and he followed suit. Our hands began to tighten, but it might have been because of the distance between us. I'm not sure. Why was he asking me? Was he asking me if I would come to see him again? Or was he asking me if I would go to Yoshiwara again as a customer, just like everyone else? Which one was it? I know you don't have to tell a courtesan like me, but I don't want you to be tainted here. Oh. Hayato pulled me closer and we looked into each other's eyes up close. I know I have no right to forbid you from seeing other men, and I can't ask you to visit me if you decide to come to Yoshiwara again. But my only hope is that your beautiful heart doesn't become contaminated. My heart ached. I don't know what to say about this. The depth of my chest hurt. The more he appealed to me with his earnest expression and eyes, the stronger the pain became. I understand. I don't have any plans to come back here yet. Misao. Hayato brought his hand up to my cheek. His gentle hand was a little cold and it was shaking a little. Hayato? Slowly he came closer to me. The dazzling sun illuminated his gallant face. I couldn't take my eyes off of him. I opened my eyes up wide so I wouldn't miss a single moment. We were almost touching. The moment I thought that, Hayato turned his face away. Who could defile you? Huh? What? Nothing. Let's go. Oh, he's blushing! Guys, you made him blush! Woo! Oh, yeah. His soft whisper was drowned out. Hayato tugged on my arm and started walking off again. He started briskly walking further and further away. Hayato, you're going too fast! I tried to keep up with his fast pace, but I stumbled on something and fell over. I felt the shock throughout my body and Hayato pulled my hand. However, he held me tightly and a few of my valuables started to fall. Are you okay, Miso? Sorry for walking so fast. No, I'm okay. Thanks for supporting me. I'm just glad you weren't hurt. He kneeled down to pick up the fallen valuables, but before he could reach them, someone else picked them up. Huh? This sure is a fancy jewel. A patrol supervisor. I never thought I would meet one at a time like this. If possible, I didn't want to get involved with them and I started getting nervous. Good morning, Hayabusa. How far are you planning on escorting this young lady? The patrol supervisor's eyes were probing me as he looked me up and down. She was about the same age as my mother. She was wearing a beautiful... I kind of thought it's a guy though. She was wearing a beautiful kimono and had her hair tied up neatly. Her stern, overpowering eyes glinted. I'm taking her to the front gate. Do you have a problem with that? Hayato's tone became very dull. I've never seen you act so kindly with one of your guests before. I guess the patrol quad supervisor is well informed about each and every courtesan in Yoshiwara. Huh. You always have to have the last word, don't you? What is this, girl? It is something a young lady would usually possess? Misao, you don't have to answer her. If you can't answer me, then I'll have to assume that you've done something wrong. Recently, some people have been leaving this play without paying their dues. We have to follow all suspicious leads that we find. Then you have nothing to worry about. I'll play by the rules and wait until my contract ends. You might be the only one who's thinking that. The patrol supervisor slowly started to glare at me. I was startled and my body began to tremble. Where are you from, miss? I'm sure you have a lot of valuables in the parcel, don't you? It's for her kimono. Huh? I hesitated to speak and Hayato stood in front of me to protect me. Her kimono, you say? Yes, I told her that I wanted to see her wearing a kimono once in a while. I had one made for her. Please, don't look inside. You'll ruin our romantic secret. The patrol supervisor stared at me from behind Hayato. And could you stop trying to scare off my valuable customer? She's terribly frightened because of your abrupt accusations. She's not used to this place yet. You have such a way with words. The supervisor didn't sound happy as she snorted, but she took her eyes off of me. After that, she reluctantly handed the jewel bag to us and left. We ran into trouble this early in the morning. I was finally able to calm down and Hayato turned around to look at me. I let the strength out of my body. Thanks. No problem. She was scary, wasn't she? Huh? Yeah. Hayato smiled as if nothing had happened. He also sounded much more cheerful than he did when he talking to the patrol supervisor. Well, if she didn't have such a demonic face, she wouldn't be able to manage Yoshiwara. Hayato, you're going too far. She didn't look like a demon. Are you sure your eyes aren't bad? You're terrible. Sorry, don't cry, okay? He placed his hand on top of my head. He caressed it gently, and I was quickly moved by his kindness. I wouldn't cry from something like this. Is that so? I guess you're pretty strong. You always treat me like a kid. I can't help it. You'll always be my little sister. Even though I'm an adult now? You're not an adult yet. Yeah, I am. If you're that stubborn, I don't think I can call you an adult. What? You jerk! I knew he was just teasing me and I didn't really mean it. But I always got mad and acted stubborn. It's okay, Misao. I don't want you to become an adult yet just now. Why? You don't get it? No. You need to tell me why. Maybe you'll understand when you become an adult. Why won't you tell me? I don't know. You're just going to avoid my question? Yeah, exactly. Hayato, you're just like a kid teasing me like this. You might be right. We gently started to hold hands again. Our eyes met and slowly started to melt together. I stopped pouting and insist. Hayato could easily manipulate my heart at will. I had always been like this. I'm beginning the day by seeing you off like this. We had fun together in our dream and now I'm sending you off into reality. Maybe we could have been together in our dream world even though I'm a courtesan. As he walked off, he started to mutter to himself, why? We could be together in reality too. No, we can't. I cherish you too much and don't want to drag you into this place. I don't want you to ever see me like this again. No. I'm sure I don't need to tell you this, but please be happy. No. I'll come see you again in a few years. No. Misao? No. This reminds me of the day you clung to my back. Huh? We were at the front gate, but my feet stopped. I held onto his hand tightly, so he couldn't let go of me. When I left my home, you'd been so reluctant to let go of me too. It had been hot that day. My back had been covered in sweat, but you'd stayed glued to me without letting me go. Hayato started to tap the hand I was using to hold it. He was trying to tell me that it was time to let me go. I shook my head vigorously, and then, I remember too. I'll come back. I want you to come with me. I remember too. I remember that day too. I see. You were always perceptive. I never told you that I was leaving for good, but you wouldn't let go of me. I'd been scared that my fears would come true. Sorry about that, Miss Al. It's okay. Misa, I wish you would be a little bit more, like, you damn idiot, you fool, you left me. Misao, it's about time for us to part. Like, could he not have sent a letter? Like, come on. Be careful walking home. I clenched his hand. Losing hand. Hayato gently and carefully freed his finger from my grip. I gave up and stopped resisting because I knew it was inevitable. I bit my lip tightly. Goodbye, Hayato. Yeah, see you later. He smiled brilliantly. I couldn't see any sorrow in his face. Hayato watched me as I left. I knew when he said later that would be far into the future. When I turned toward the gate, I decided not to look back at him. I continued to feel his piercing eyes on my back. A few days later, I thought I wouldn't hear from him again for a few years, but Hayato had sent me a letter. Thank God! Feelings of excitement and anxiety mixed together, and I opened up the letter. They're suspicious of me? The contents of the letter weren't romantic at all. When Hayato had walked me to the front gate that day, Yoshiwara's patrol supervisor had begun to doubt my integrity. For the time being, Hayato didn't want me to step foot into Yoshiwara. That was what he'd written. Have I done something that deplorable? Guilt started to rise up inside my chest as I asked whose words. At the time, I'd been overcome with passionate feelings to save the couple from being torn apart. I still didn't think I'd done anything wrong. However, if I was to be treated like a criminal, then I might start to question my integrity. I didn't know what to do. What was I to do from now on? I read the letter over and over, and my feelings began to spiral. Then, later that night, yeah, let's say, does he like us?